I'm here today on behalf of Miko George Thompson, the traditional Miko of Ojiabova, which is Hickory Ground in Oklahoma, as well as the National Council Speaker Sam Alexander and our tribal membership of the Muskogee Creek Nation. I must start by saying it's good to be back home of our ancestors here in Alabama. It's good to be among our relatives here in Alabama. I came because there were some arrests that were made recently, and wanted to make sure that we're able to take some of our tribal members home. Two are at home. There are 3 tribal members that are arrested as we're speaking right now. One is in the process of being released over in Wetumpka area. And we feel important that we came, and not only to show our interest of what's going on with our tribal membership that was arrested, but also to be able to show their families that Muskogee Creek Nation is certainly supporting their tribal members and people here here in Alabama. We feel like that one individual, Wayland Gray, was arrested for some terrorist threats. We don't know that as to what extent there may be. When we talk about terrorist threats, regardless of what nation we may be, we consider those very serious. And yet we feel like that, those things have to go through the process, and whatever happens in court, those are things that are worked out in court. Mr. Gray has been held since Friday afternoon over in Wetumpka, and there are many of our tribal members back home that feel like to a certain degree that our two nations, our relatives here in Alabama and Georgia, the porch man, were related, and surely, just like anything else, relations can have disagreements. But our traditions and our culture says that we should be able to sit across the table from each other and work these things out. We all have a common respect for our traditional values and cultural values, and we regard Hickory Ground as a very sacred place. Ojiabova, which is Hickory Ground in our language, is very special to us. It's where our traditional sacred fire was taken from this area to what is now Oklahoma. And we feel that there are some things that we must keep sacred. And many of our ancestors were laid to rest in the area of Wetumpka. And with their resting places, we consider funerary objects with them that are very special and very sacred to many of us. I know that the Muskogee Creek Nation was very happy to be able to assist the Porch Band for their federal recognition back in the 80s, with the understanding that we'd work together, especially when it came to sacred and traditional issues. And we feel that if we're able to work together on some of these issues, that would benefit everyone involved. While we may have these disagreements, the Muskogee Creek Nation isn't still yet offering to help any way that we can with the resources that we have to see that some of these things can be worked out. Unfortunately, the Muskogee Creek Nation and the Hickory Ground ceremonial town were forced to file a lawsuit to prevent the porch man from engaging in disturbing our Muskogee ancestors' final resting place. Our hope is that the 2 sovereign Indian nations could work together through this issue, but really we don't see a resolution in the near future unless construction is stopped. When we came to Wetumpka, I felt the feelings and the spirits of our forefathers and foremothers, and how sacred it is to be able to come back and walk the streets and walk the property and walk the lands of our ancestors. It was very emotional, and yet we came back because of some negativeness that I really don't want to dwell in anymore. I came because families of Wayland Gray, tribal members, feel that this is something that the nation needed to do. And I want to be able to take Mr. Gray home this evening and take him home to his parents and to his loved ones, and that in the future, as we look toward the future, that it's our hope that in some way that our relatives here in this state, our relatives that are recognized for being a nation, that we can indeed be nations and work together.